Hello viewers, welcome to City Report. Today we are gonna explore state Georgia. Let's get started. Georgia is the state in the southeastern region of the United States, bordered to the north by Tennessee and North Carolina, to the northeast by South Carolina, to the southeast by the Atlantic Ocean, to the south by Florida, and to the west by Alabama. Georgia is the 24th largest in area and 8th most populous of the 50 United States. Its 2020 population was approx 10 million according to the US Census Bureau. Atlanta, a bitter global city, is both the state's capital and its largest city. The Atlanta metropolitan area, with an established population of more than 6 million people in 2019, is the ninth most populous metropolitan area in the United States and contains about 57% of Georgia's entire population. Founded in 1733 as a British colony, Georgia was the last and southernmost of the original 13 colonies to be established. Named after King George II of Great Britain, the colony of Georgia covered the area from South Carolina south to Spanish Florida and west to French Louisiana at the Mississippi River. On January 2, 1788, Georgia became the fourth state to ratify the United States Constitution. From 1802 to 1804, Western Georgia was split to form the Mississippi Territory, which later was admitted as the US states of Alabama and Mississippi. Georgia declared its section from the Union on January 19, 1861 and was one of the original 7 Confederate states. Following the Civil War, it was the last state to be restored to the Union on July 15, 1870. In the post-Reconstruction era, Georgia's economy was transformed as a group of prominent politicians, businessmen, and journalists, led by Henry W. Grady, espoused the New South philosophy of sectional reconciliation, industrialization, and white supremacy. During the 20th century, several Georgians, most notably Martin Luther King Jr., were prominent leaders during the civil rights movement. Since 1945, Georgia has seen substantial population growth as a part of the broader Sun Belt phenomenon. From 2007 to 2008, 14 of Georgia's counties ranked among the nation's 100 fastest growing. Before settlement by Europeans, Georgia was inhabited by the mound-building cultures. The British colony of Georgia was founded by James Oglethorpe on February 12, 1733. The colony was administered by the trustees for the establishment of the colony of Georgia in America under a charter issued by and named for King George II. The trustees implemented an elaborate plan for the colony's settlement, known as the Oglethorpe Plan, which envisioned an agrarian society of yeomen farmers and prohibited slavery. The colony was invaded by the Spanish in 1742 during the War of Jenkins era. In 1752, after the government failed to renew subsidies that had helped support the colony, the trustees turned over control to the crown. Let's talk about top 10 places you must visit in Georgia. Number 10. Tybee Island. Tybee Island is a city and a barrier island located in Chatham County, Georgia, 18 miles east of Savannah, United States. Though the name Tybee Island is used for both the island and the city, geographically they are not identical. Only part of the island's territory lies within the city. The island is the easternmost point in Georgia. The famous phrase "from Raven Gap to Tybee Light," intended to illustrate the geographic diversity of Georgia, contrasts a mountain pass near the state's northernmost point with the coastal island's famous lighthouse. As of the 2010 census, the city's population was 2,990. The entire island is a part of the Savannah Metropolitan Statistical Area, officially renamed Savannah Beach in a publicity move at the end of the 1950s. The city of Tybee Island has since reverted to its original name. The name Savannah Beach nevertheless appears on official state maps as far back as 1952 and as recently as the mid-1970s. The small island, which has long been a quiet getaway for the residents of Savannah, has become a popular vacation spot with the tourists from outside the Savannah metropolitan area. Tybee Island is home to the first of what would eventually become the Days Inn chain of hotels, the oft-photographed Tybee Island Light Station, and the Fort Scriven Historic District. It is one of the few locations where the US Air Force dropped an atomic bomb by accident during the botched 1958 military training exercise. Though the Tybee bomb did not detonate, and according to some reports, was not armed with a fuse. There has been ongoing concern since the Mark 50 nuclear bomb lost during the mishap was never found. Native Americans using dugout canoes to navigate the waterways hunted and camped in Georgia's coastal islands for thousands of years. The Yuchi tribe likely inhabited the island in the years preceding the arrival of the first Spanish explorers in the area in the 16th century. Tybee is the Yuchi word for salt. In 1520, the Spanish claimed to what is now Tybee Island and named it Los Baos. It was at the northern end of the Gual missionary province of Spanish Florida. Number 9. Okefenokee Swamp. The Okefenokee Swamp is a shallow 438,000 acre peat filled wetland straddling the Georgia-Florida line in the United States. A majority of the swamp is protected by the Okefenokee National Wildlife Refuge, the Okefenokee Wilderness. The Okefenokee Swamp is considered to be one of the 7 natural wonders of Georgia. The Okefenokee is the largest blackwater swamp in North America. The swamp was designated a National Natural Landmark in 1974. The name Okefenokee is attested with more than a dozen variant spellings of the word in historical literature. Though often translated as the land of trembling earth, the name is likely derived from Hittite Okefenokee, bubbling water. The Okefenokee was formed over the past 6,500 years by the accumulation of peat in a shallow basin on the edge of an ancient Atlantic coastal terrace, the geological relic of a Pleistocene estuary. The swamp is bordered by Trial Ridge, a strip of elevated land believed to have formed as coastal dunes or an offshore barrier island. The St. Mary's River and the Suwannee River both originate in the swamp. The Suwannee River originates as a stream channels in the heart of the Okefenokee Swamp and drains at least 90% of the swamp's watershed southwest toward the Gulf of Mexico. The St. Mary's River, which drains only 5 to 10% of the swamp's southeastern corner, flows south along the western side of Trial Ridge through the ridge at St. Mary's River and north again along the eastern side of Trial Ridge before turning east to the Atlantic. The earliest known inhabitants of the Okefenokee Swamp were the Timucua-speaking Oconee, who dwelt on the eastern side of the swamp. The Spanish friars built the mission of Santiago de Oconee nearby in order to convert them to Christianity. Number 8. Stone Mountain Park. Stone Mountain is a quartz monzonite dome monadnock and the site of Stone Mountain Park near the city of Stone Mountain, Georgia. The park is owned by the state of Georgia and managed by Norcross-based Hirschend Family Entertainment. At its summit, the elevation is 1,686 feet above sea level and 825 feet above the surrounding area. Stone Mountain is well known for not only its geology but also the enormous rock relief on its north face, the largest bas-relief artwork in the world. Carving depicts 3 Confederate leaders, Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson. Stone Mountain was once owned by the Venable brothers. As a memorial to the Confederacy, Stone Park officially opened on April 14, 1965, 100 years to the day after Lincoln's assassination. Although the park had already been in use for a few years, by 2015 it was the most visited destination in the state of Georgia. The mountain top and Skyroid the mountain, which ranges in composition from quartz, monzonite to granite and granodiorite, is more than 5 miles in circumference at its base. The summit of the mountain can be reached by a walk-up trail on the west side of the mountain or by the Skyride aerial tram. Stone Mountain is a pluton, a type of igneous intrusion, primarily composed of quartz monzonite. The dome of Stone Mountain was formed during the formation of the Blue Ridge Mountains around 300 to 350 million years ago during the Carboniferous period, part of the Appalachian Mountains. It formed as a result of the upwelling of magma from within the Earth's crust. This magma solidified to form granite within the crust 5 to 10 miles below the surface. The Stone Mountain Pluton continues underground 9 miles at its longest point into Gwinnett County. Numerous reference books and Georgia literature have dubbed Stone Mountain as the largest exposed piece of granite in the world. The misconception is most likely a result of misrepresentation by granite companies and early park administration. Number 7. Callaway Gardens. Callaway Gardens is a 6,500-acre resort complex located in Pine Mountain, Georgia, just outside LaGrange, Georgia. The destination draws over 750,000 visitors annually. Callaway Gardens was founded in 1952 by Kason J. and Virginia Hand Callaway to promote and protect native azalea species. His son, Bo Callaway, helped develop and run the garden. Today, Callaway Gardens features a wide variety of recreational attractions, including a large enclosed butterfly habitat, the Cecil B. Day Butterfly Center. The native palm sable miner maintains one of its northernmost populations in the area. The garden was originally conceived in 1930 after Kason J. Callaway discovered a rare azalea growing in the area. Callaway Gardens opened on May 21, 1952 as the Ida Kason Gardens with a number of lakes, a golf course, and scenic drives. The gardens were named for the mother of Kason J. Callaway. Robin Lake Beach and the Overlook Azalea Garden opened the following year in 1953. In 1955, the gardens were renamed Ida Kason Callaway Gardens. The Masters Water Ski Tournament, now an annual event called the Masters Water Ski and Wakeboard Tournament, held its first competition in 1959. On April 12, 1961, founder Kason J. Callaway died and was succeeded as chairman of the board by his wife, co-founder Virginia Hand Callaway. The gardens have experienced numerous expansions following Kason Callaway's death. The Kason J. Callaway Memorial Forest opened in 1972 and was designated a National Natural Landmark by the United States Department of the Interior. Robin Lake was the site of terrible ferry accident in the 70s. The John A. Sibley Horticultural Center opened in 1984, closed in 2015. Master Kason's Vegetable Garden was the location for years of TV shows about growing vegetable gardens, most notably the southern edition of the Victory Garden. The annual steeplechase at Callaway Gardens ran its first race in 1985. The Cecil B. Day Butterfly Center opened on September 25, 1988. Number 6. World of Coca-Cola. The World of Coca-Cola is a museum located in Atlanta, Georgia, showcasing the history of the Coca-Cola Company. The 20-acre complex opened to the public on May 24, 2007, relocating from and replacing the original exhibit, which was founded in 1990 in underground Atlanta. There are various similar World of Coca-Cola stores in locations such as Las Vegas and Disney Springs. The original World of Coca-Cola was located in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, at 55 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, between the Georgia State Capitol and the underground Atlanta Shopping and Entertainment District. The museum opened in 1990 and would remain open until 2007. The original World of Coca-Cola saw around 9 million visitors during its years of operation, becoming Atlanta's most visited indoor attraction until it was surpassed by the Georgia Aquarium in 2009. The museum was inspired to serve as a continuation of Coca-Cola history dating back to 1886. During the time of Dr. John S. Pemberton, a pharmacist from Atlanta created a unique soft drink with a specific flavor syrup that was highly popular. Frank M. Robinson, his partner and bookkeeper, is responsible for the name of Coca-Cola as well as the well-known design of the script. The museum was located in a 3-story pavilion, and its entrance had a huge neon Coca-Cola sign 30 feet high and 26 feet wide. This sign was built by Metals Manufacturing in West Valley, Utah. The tour started on the top floor and worked downwards, featuring approximately thousands Coca-Cola artifacts presented in chronological order. Interactive exhibits such as a replica 1930s soda fountain, video presentations of Coca-Cola advertising over the years, and a 10-minute film about Coke around the world. The tour featured the spectacular fountain, where visitors were allowed to sample various Coke products. At the Tastes of the States area in the same room, guests were able to try 22 different soft drink brands, some available only regionally. The Taste of the World exhibit was located in the International Lounge. There was also a gift shop. The Georgia state government acquired former World of Coca-Cola building for $1.1 million after Coca-Cola vacated the facility in 2007, and state legislators had proposed to install a state history museum in the building, but no action has been taken due to the cost of refurbishing the old World of Coca-Cola building as well as the lack of funding to do so. Number 5. Lookout Mountain. Lookout Mountain is a mountain ridge located at the northwest corner of the US state of Georgia, the northeast corner of Alabama, and along the southeastern Tennessee state line in Chattanooga. Mountain was the scene of the 18th century last battle of the Cherokees in this area during the Nickajack expedition. On November 24, 1863, during the American Civil War, the Battle of the Lookout Mountain took place here. Lookout Mountain's name likely comes from the Creek term of rock rising to a point. The name appears on a map as early as Matthew Carey's 1795 map of the Tennessee government. Lookout Mountain and Sand Mountain to the southwest make up a large portion of the southernmost end of the Cumberland Plateau. The area was lifted from an ancient sea and worn down by erosion for millions of years. The summit, called High Point, is located just east of Thompsonville in Walker County, Georgia, with an elevation of 2,392 feet above sea level. The foothills of the mountain extend into Chickamauga and Chattanooga National Military Park. The caves of Ruby Falls are in Lookout Mountain, and the rock formations of the City of Rocks or Rock City attraction are situated on the ridge. The area is home to the Lookout Mountain Incline Railway, convenient college, and a hang gliding school. Lookout Mountain is one of the Chattanooga area's most visited tourist attractions. Civil War related landmark including Point Park, operated by the National Park Service, and the Craven's House. Nearby are Georgia's Cloudland Canyon and Cloudland Canyon State Park. The southwestern section of Lookout Mountain is in northeastern Alabama. The Little River in Little River Canyon on the mountain. The river flows over the DeSoto Falls in DeSoto State Park. The Noccalula Falls Park, featuring a pioneer village showcasing several 19th century homes, is located at the southern terminus of Lookout Mountain in Gadsden, Alabama. Local legend claims that the 90-foot falls namesake Noccalula jumped to her death because she could not marry the man she loved. Number 4. Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Site. The Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park covers about 35 acres and includes several buildings in Atlanta, Georgia, related to the life and work of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. Within the park is his boyhood home and the original Ebenezer Baptist Church, the church where King was baptized, and both his father Martin Luther King Sr. and he were pastors. This place is critical to the interpretation of the life of Martin Luther King Jr. and his legacy as a leader of the American Civil Rights Movement, were originally included in the National Historic Site or National Historic Landmark listings first established on October 10, 1980. The site was expanded and designated as a National Historical Park through a bipartisan bill long championed by John Lewis and signed on January 8, 2018 by former President Donald Trump. In total, the buildings included in the site make up 35 acres. The Visitor Center contains a museum that chronicles the American Civil Rights Movement and the path of Martin Luther King Jr. The King Center for Nonviolent Social Change includes the burial place of King and his wife, activist Coretta Scott King. An 1894 firehouse, Fire Station Number 6, served the Sweet Auburn community until 1991 and now contains a gift shop and an exhibit on desegregation in the Atlanta Fire Department. The I Have a Dream International World Peace Rose Garden and a memorial tribute to Mohandas K. Gandhi are part of the site, as is the International Civil Rights Walk of Fame, which commemorates some of the courageous pioneers who worked for social justice. In 2019, the National Park Foundation purchased the life home of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on Sunset Avenue, where the family moved in 1965 from the estate of Coretta Scott King and transferred it to the National Park Service for restoration before it is open to the public. As an expansion of the National Historic Park, annual events celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day in January typically draw large crowds. Number 3. Atlanta Botanical Garden. The Atlanta Botanical Garden is a 30 acres botanical garden located adjacent to Piedmont Park in Midtown Atlanta, Georgia, United States. Incorporated in 1976, the garden's mission is to develop and maintain plant collections for the purpose of display, education, conservation, research, and enjoyment. Following a petition by citizens of Atlanta in 1973, the garden was incorporated in 1976 as the private non-profit corporation Atlanta Botanical Garden Incorporated. The garden incorporated the pre-existing Dr. A. Leslie Stephens Memorial Bonsai Garden, now known as the Japanese Garden. Within a year, Bill Warner, previously employed at Holden Arboretum, was assigned office as the first executive director. He was soon followed by N. L. Cremond in 1979. The following year marked a turning point in the history of the garden as a 50-year lease was negotiated with the city, securing the site of the garden for years to come. A number of promotional activities started taking place, including social events, major art exhibitions, and the annual Garden of Eden Ball. The Atlanta Botanical Garden welcomed its 50,000th visitor within a mere 3 years after the lease was arranged. This was even before any permanent structures had been erected. In 1985, the Atlanta Botanical Garden built its first permanent structure, the Garden House. Expansions following this were the Children's Garden, 1999, the Fuqua Conservatory in 1989, and the Fuqua Orchid Center, which was added in 2002. Blockbuster summertime exhibitions began in 2003 with Tree Manders, Tree Houses. Chichuli in the garden opened in 2004, while in 2005, locomotion in the garden featured G-scale model trains. On April 29, 2006, an exhibition of the sculpture of Nikki the Saint Valley opened to the public. Number 2. Savannah Historic District. Savannah is the oldest city in the U.S. state of Georgia and is the county seat of Chatham County. Established in 1733 on the Savannah River, the city of Savannah became the British colonial capital of the province of Georgia and later the first state capital of Georgia. a strategic port city in the American Revolution and during the American Civil War. Savannah is today an industrial center and an important Atlantic seaport. It is Georgia's fifth largest city with a 2019 estimated population of 144,464. The Savannah metropolitan area, Georgia's third largest, had an established population of 393,353 in 2019. Each year, Savannah attracts millions of visitors to its cobblestone streets, parks, and notable historic buildings. These buildings include the birthplace of Juliet Gordon Low, founder of the Girl Scouts of the USA. The Georgia Historical Society, the oldest continually operating historical society in the South. The Telfair Academy of Arts and Science, one of the South's first public museums. The First African Baptist Church, one of the oldest African American Baptist congregations in the United States. Temple Mikveh Israel, the third oldest synagogue in the US. And the Central of Georgia Railway Roundhouse Complex, the oldest standing antebellum rail facility in the US. Savannah's downtown area, which includes the Savannah Historic District, the Savannah Victorian Historic District, and 22 park-like squares, is one of the largest National Historic Landmark districts in the United States, designated by the US government in 1966. Downtown Savannah largely retains the original town plan prescribed by founder James Oglethorpe, a design now known as the Oglethorpe Plan. Savannah was the host city for the sailing competitions during the 1996 Summer Olympics held in Atlanta. On February 12, 1733, General James Oglethorpe and settlers from the ship Annie landed at Yamacraw Bluff and were greeted by Tomochichi, the Yamacraws, and Indian traders John and Mary Musgrove. Mary Musgrove often served as an interpreter. The city of Savannah was founded on the date, along with the colony of Georgia. Number 1. Georgia Aquarium. Georgia Aquarium is a public aquarium in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. Georgia Aquarium is home to hundreds of species and thousands of animals across its 7 major galleries, all of which reside in more than 10 million US gallons of fresh and salt water. It was the largest aquarium in the world from its opening in 2005 until 2012, when it became the third largest aquarium in the world after the Marine Life Park in Singapore and the Simalong Ocean Kingdom in China. The Georgia Aquarium remains the largest aquarium in the United States and in the Western Hemisphere. A $250 million donation from the foundation of local businessman and the Home Depot co-founder Bernard Marcus provided the bulk of the funding needed to build and stock the new facility. The aquarium's notable specimens include whale sharks, beluga whales, California sea lions, bottlenose dolphins, and manta rays. In November 2001, Bernard Marcus announced his vision of presenting Atlanta with an aquarium that would encourage both education and economic growth. After visiting 56 aquariums in 13 countries with his wife, Billy Marcus, he donated $250 million toward what was to become Georgia Aquarium. Corporate contributions totaling an additional $40 million allowed the aquarium to open debt-free. Jeff Swanigan, the founding president and executive director until 2008, is largely credited with the creation of the aquarium, from the design of the structure to the procurement of animals for the exhibits. The aquarium is in downtown Atlanta on land donated by the Coca-Cola Company, just north of Centennial Olympic Park. It has a blue metal and glass exterior, the world's largest when it opened in November 2005. The aquarium encompasses 550,000 square feet of covered space, and its exhibits held 8 million US gallons, that is 30 million liters of fresh and salt water. Subsequent additions to the collection and redesign of some habitats have increased the total water held to 10 million US gallons. This was all about state Georgia. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Do share with your friends and family. Thanks for watching.